future of India. The little ones who have assembled, who have put their best foot forward to make this occasion memorable, I salute them. We are old-timers. I am a very, very old senior citizen, born long back. So I do not have much confidence in dementia and in this uneasy walking. I don't have much confidence, but I have full confidence in you, the future generation of India. You will be making a new India, a brighter India, a happier India. And this country of yours, it is yours and yours and yours. This Jhanda which you are seeing, it is yours and yours and yours. It is for you to maintain the dignity, the grace, and the stature of all that is noble and all that is unique. Ours is a wonderful country, and I'm so proud that I am in India. Whenever I get the time, I just sing, Made in India, Made in India. This is a song which I love so much. And when I see you people, I feel so happy that here there is no Tamilian, here there is no Assamese, here there is no Punjabi, no Gujarati, no Marathi, no Bengali. Here there is only one thing that unifies us, keeps us together, and that is we are INDIANS. On top of our head we have the Himalayas, below we have the Indian Ocean and the Bay of Bengal and the Arabian Sea. In between we have the Sundarbans and the deserts of Rajasthan. We have camels and tigers, peacocks and pigeons. We have everything that we would like to have. Ours is such a wonderful country in so many respects. And if you look at the map of India and you see the atlas, you will see the position that India occupies amongst the conglomeration of nations. It's a unique privilege to have been born here. And when I took my leave as a principal of a college in northeast Tripura, long back, when I took leave of my students and they gave me a farewell, I prayed to them, I requested them to please, for your old teacher's sake, please, I beg two things of you. One, whenever you pray to your God, whenever you offer your puja, your offerings to your deity, in the evenings when you light the pradeep, and when you bow your heads down, think of this old man, A.K. Mitra. Think of him, and two requests I have. When you pray to your God, please convey my requests to your God. First request, I have seen all the bad things of life, all the good things of life. I have seen all the plus points and the minus points. I have seen the blue sky and the green grass, and sometimes the clouds in the sky and the grass withered under our feet. I have seen the plus points, the minus points, and my prayer to you, my request to you is that when you pray to your God, just say one thing, that our Sir Amal Kumar Mitra, he doesn't want to be born again. I don't want to be born again. I've seen whatever I wanted to see. And I'm very, very much afraid in case I am born, if I be born as a chimpanzee or as a gorilla. These are my apprehensions which disturbs my mind. So I don't want a rebirth. No, never. With the operations and the injections and the heart throbbing and traveling with your sorbitrate in your pockets, I don't want to be born again. But my second request to you, my children, I told them, my second request to you is that in case God doesn't listen to your prayers, then please beg of God that let our Sir be born again as a teacher. I don't want to be a politician. I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be an IAS officer. But I want to be a teacher. And I wish to have students like you. When I was telling these things to my children in Udaipur College, Tripura, they were weeping. Their eyes were not bright. My eyes were also not bright. We all belong to one family as a teacher and students. It was so wonderful, so wonderful. I loved teaching. I loved my students. And one day something very interesting happened here. I was just sitting and reading the newspaper. The bell rang, the calling bell. I went and opened the door, and in front of me there were 3 little dicky birds. Beautiful children, beautiful children. I don't know their names, I've forgotten their names. Wonderful children. They said, "Sir, we have come to gather some grains. We are going to have some function and we shall be very happy if you can contribute something." I asked them their names, the classes in which they studied, the schools where they read. And then I put a few questions. And that was my mistake. That is why they brought me here today. I shouldn't have been so very, very unofficial. I shouldn't have been so very, very a teacher. But the teacher in me came out. I asked them, what is the color of the Indian flag? How many colors it has? They gave a beautiful answer. Then I said, what is the chakra which is in the middle of the flag? They said, Ashoka chakra. And I asked them, which was a bit difficult for them, I asked them, how many spokes are there? Have you counted the number of spokes? I don't think they were able to answer, or they might have answered, I can't recall. Long back it happened, and my memory is failing. And I interacted with them. I told them a few incidents of my life. The day I saw Rabindranath Tagore in Madras, in Chennai, in the year 1937, when I was only 7 years old. I was born in 1930. So when I saw him, I told them about that. He came with a flowing robe, sat on an easy chair with folded hands on his lap. And there was a dance drama, either Chitrangada or Shama or Chandalika. I've forgotten the name of that dance drama. He was sitting, he was keenly observing the steps. The music was excellent, wonderful music. But one thing happened which I can't forget. Even at this age of 85, I can't forget. One thing happened. Suddenly he got up. Rabindranath Tagore. He got up, his face became red, and the flowing dari was there. And with a very brisk steps, he departed into the wings of the auditorium. I asked my mother, or maybe my father, what has happened? And my mother said, one of the artists put a wrong foot forward. There was a chandopaton. There was something wrong in the steps. And this infuriated Tagore. He got very angry because he believed in very, very neat and nikhut things, perfect things he wanted. Everything should be perfect he wanted. So he left and disappeared. That was the one thing which I will never forget in my life. My first darshan of Gurudev. The second thing which I shall never forget, that was in the year 1947. I was a student of the first year class in Guwahati, Cotton College. And one day I was told that Mahatma Gandhi is coming to visit Guwahati. Immediately I asked the time and where I will be able to see him. And they showed me the judge's court field, a beautiful field. He will be having his prayer meeting in the evening with Raghupati, Raghav, Rajaram, Sabka Sadriti, Jai Bhagavan. He will be having his prayer meeting. Immediately I decided I must see him. From the distance I will touch his feet. I will never be able to go near him, but from the distance I can touch his feet. He spoke for some time, very lucid Hindi. I couldn't understand Hindi properly in those days, but he was so lucid, so sweet. And he made everything so easy for us to understand. I never forgot. Then in the year 1948, the 30th day of January, it was a Friday. I still remember very, very clearly. I was 18 years old in 1948. That day was the last day of my exam, Guwahati Cotton College ISC test exam. I was so happy exams will be over. Physics was the last paper. I will go home and switch on the radio. In those days there were no TVs. Switch on the radio and listen to a drama, a natak by Sachindranath Sengupta. Name of that natak was Bharat Varsh, India. I was feeling so happy, so light, nothing to study, exams over. I came home, switched on my set, and there was no natak. Only a very melancholy, very touching sitar ka awaaz, tung tang, tung tang, tung tang. I was surprised. What has happened? Friday evening, drama evening, All India Radio ka drama ka evening. What has happened? Only music. And then there was that announcement, Gandhiji has been shot dead. He has been shot dead on the streets of Delhi. And while falling down, his last words were, "Hey Ram," his last words. I was downstairs, I ran upstairs to my mother, and I was crying like anything at the age of 18. Being very emotional, I was crying like anything that Bapuji nan ki holo guli kore mara hoyeche. Yes. And his last words were, "Hey Ram." And then, after a few days, his ashes came. The ashes were to be strewn into the Brahmaputra, mighty Brahmaputra river. That day I remember, a boy of 18, 1948. With barefoot, the whole day I walked on the streets of the city. As my respect, as my pranam to my Mahatma. Whole day I walked barefoot. That was the day which I shall never forget. And Tagore sir, seeing him on the dais, I'll never forget. And then one thing I forgot to tell you, my children, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot. I'm sorry. Let me tell you now, since I'm remembering it. I had gone to school, Church of Scotland Mission Preparatory School, Kilpock. Now it is known as Miss Bain's School, wonderful school. And suddenly at around 12:30, the bell was rung, the final bell for us to disperse, that was rung. Immediately all of us assembled in the compound, in the garden, beneath the swings and the slides and the seesaws. We assembled there. And our principal, Miss Bain, she came and said, "Children, Tagore is no more." That was another occasion which I shall never forget. Tagore was no more, Gandhiji no more. Two persons whom I respected the most with all my heart. All have said tata, bye-bye, aar jano dekha na paye. And we are all so proud. We belong to the land of Jawaharlal and Lal Bahadur Shastri, Radha Krishnan, and Tagore, and Gandhiji, and so great people. We're so proud of being an Indian. Aren't you proud, all of you? Aren't you all proud? We're very proud of your country. Be very proud of your country and be or do some things in life which will make your country very proud. I think I've given a long speech. I'm sorry for it. Now there will be some questions for you to ask. I don't know whether I shall be able to do justice to the questions. my habit is asking questions, not to take questions from others. But today is going to be vice versa, I have been told. And since morning my heart is palpitating. Early in the morning I had to take one sorbitry because I was full of tension. What will my children ask? I will try to hit our boundaries, but now and then you may be bowling me out for a duck. So I'm very, very much afraid what you will be asking me, but I'll be very happy. Please come here near the mic and ask your question. I will try to answer.
The video didn't come out well. I shake my hand a lot.
We request young kids to come forward and ask question. Balu? Balu will start, come. In fact, it was a rare privilege for all of us to have a man of Guruji's stature, a kind of person who has seen independence, who has seen Tagore, Gandhi in flesh and blood, who is a kind of moving, living memory of times bygone. So that way it was a rare privilege for us. And thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us, for telling us so many touching stories about your past, about reminding us the glory of being a teacher. And I'm sure young kids, no questions from you? No, they know, but they're too shy to ask. They're JALADA kids, they're very smart. I'll ask one question on behalf of all the kids. Balu, you have a question, sir? Sir, one thing I'd like to kind of bring to your notice, the times, the culture, the kind of country you saw when you were young or when you were a kind of active teacher in your college, and the times which we are seeing now. Where do you think we are heading? How are we kind of taking care of the changes which are before us? How to guide the kids of today? What kind of, should I say, sanskar we should give so that whatever is strong and important and precious in our tradition, glory, they are preserved. Please, sir.
Thank you so much. It's a wonderful question. Very nice question. And I was thinking of telling my experiences while I was giving my speech. I forgot. But before I forget one thing, please, all young and old, ladies and gentlemen, officers and staff, everyone, my heartfelt gratitude to you for having invited me and for having brought me here. It's a great privilege on my part to be associated with the RBI faculty, and it's so nice of you to have invited me. It's wonderful. Now to go to the question, I'll give you a very brief illustration between the past and the present. Very brief. When I was a small boy like you, a small child, every day in the morning and evening I used to find the streets of Chennai being watered. No speck of dust, no dirt. The streets of Chennai, it's lovely, watered by the Dalits. They used to do that work to make us happy and keep the city clean. My namaste to my Dalit friends. Another thing I saw when I was small, Morning and evening, the postman used to come to deliver letters. Nowadays, it's all mobile, it's all computer and internet and network. So letters are very far and few between. I still remember when I was very young, not very young exactly, when I was of marriageable age and I fell in love with a lady. There was no mobile, there was no telephone, nothing. But every day I used to watch through the window whether the postman was coming or not. I won't forget. Blue fat envelopes which the postman used to bring and gift to me. I could not converse, I could not exchange my words, but through letters we used to be together. That was one thing which I shall not forget. Another thing, it's a very bad thing, very bad, which I want to forget, but which I cannot forget. One day I went to the office of the Accountant General, West Bengal, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. All the seats were vacant. There was not a single personnel to whom I can address and convey my problems. Everybody, without a single exception, all the chairs were vacant. And I was told that this is the system. They come very late, they come before lunch, and then they try to depart after lunch. So I said, this is India, free India, Swadhin Bharat. Dalit friends, cleaning the streets, watering the streets. Poorly paid postmen delivering lectures morning and evening without pay. And freedom, after independence, the babus of office of the Accountant General West Bengal, conspicuous by their absence at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So these are some things which I can never forget. At this age, I remember. And school inspectors coming regularly to inspect the schools. Teachers coming punctually to take the class. And